You're standing in front of a choice. It's small, almost stupid, an apple or a donut. You already know the answer. You don't need a degree, you don't need advice, and yet your hand reaches for the donut. Again. That moment right there, that's not weakness, that's not lack of discipline. That's your mind outsourcing thinking to emotion. Let me explain why. You like to believe you're rational, measured, logical. You tell yourself, I think things through. I weigh the pros and cons. I make smart decisions. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of your decisions are already made before logic ever shows up. Logic doesn't drive the car. It just writes the report afterward. This isn't random. It's psychology. There's a pattern running quietly in your head. Emotion first, reason second. You feel something, a pull, a craving, a fear, a spark of excitement, and then your intellect scrambles to justify it, not to decide, to defend. That's emotional reasoning, using how something feels to decide what's true, and it controls far more of your life than you want to admit. Here's how it usually works. Emotion says, I want this. I need relief. I deserve this. This will make me feel better. Intellect shows up late with a clipboard and a story. Well, actually, it makes sense because there are reasons. That's not logic. That's damage control. You've seen this before. Someone buys something impulsively, a car, a gadget, a lifestyle they can't afford, and suddenly they're listing features, safety, value, long-term benefits. But none of that caused the purchase. Emotion did. The logic came after to protect the identity. That's not love, that's control. And your emotions have been controlling you while pretending to be you. Marketers figured this out decades ago. They don't sell facts, they sell feelings, status, belonging, relief, power. Because emotion moves behavior, logic just signs the paperwork. The real ratio isn't 80% logic, 20% emotion. It's closer to the opposite. Emotion drives, logic rationalizes, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Here's where things get personal. Your emotional reasoning isn't just about purchases. It decides who you date, what you tolerate, when you quit, what you avoid. You say, I just feel like this won't work. You say, I don't feel ready. You say, I feel like this is who I am. Those aren't insights, they're emotional conclusions, and emotions are terrible strategists. Emotion is designed for survival, not truth. It moves you toward comfort and away from pain. That made sense when danger was physical, but now the same system reacts to emails, memories, thoughts. Your brain doesn't know the difference, so it steers your life based on momentary feelings instead of long-term outcomes. This isn't fate. This isn't destiny. It's instructions. Here's the psychological trap. Once emotion decides something, your mind starts filtering reality to support it. You notice evidence that agrees. You ignore what doesn't. That's confirmation bias. You don't see reality as it is. You see reality as your emotion needs it to be. And the more often you do this, the more solid the story feels, even when it's wrong. Let's slow this down. You don't have one logic system. You have a personalized one, built from beliefs, values, past experiences. It's consistent, predictable, and once someone understands it, they can predict your behavior better than you can. That's not scary. That's powerful, if you're aware of it. Dangerous, if you're not. Here's the shift. Unemotional reasoning doesn't mean being cold or detached or numb. It means separating what you feel from what you decide. Emotion gives data, not commands. It tells you what's happening inside, not what to do next. Wisdom is pausing long enough to ask, is this feeling helping me think or replacing thinking? That pause alone breaks the spell. When you stop letting emotion decide, something strange happens. You gain leverage. You still feel fear, but you don't obey it. You still feel desire, but you don't follow it blindly. You still feel discomfort, but you don't escape it reflexively. You become intentional, and that changes everything. Here's the truth. Most people fail because they lack information. They confuse feelings with facts. They trust emotion as if it were intelligence. It isn't. Emotion is weather. Intellect is navigation. Confuse the two and you drift. Separate them and you choose. So start noticing. When you say, I feel like, pause. Ask yourself, who's driving right now? Emotion or intention? That awareness alone begins rewriting your logic system, not overnight, but permanently. And once that happens, your life doesn't magically get easy, it gets clear. And clarity, that's power.